So it is about debugging in Eclipse, right? So I have a sample project. What I have created is SMS, student management system. So let me create a sample package. So com dot skanda dot, I'll say modal. So modal is a package where we can create all our model components, basically data carriers. Those are data components. Those are just simple POJO classes. Whenever our project has layered architecture, of course, if our project is MVC based project, in general we'll be having 3 layers: presentation layer, service layer, DO layer, database layer. So when we submit a form with some data, it has to go across these layers till database. There we store to the database, right? Database layer, there we store to database. And even while sending it back also, so we should send a component to the JSP page, UI page, so which we call it as a view object, where we render on the JSP page, right? So for any matters, so we can make use of this model component. Now what is my plan is, just I am creating a class here, student, right? As it is a student management system, just I am creating a class called student. So here in the student, let me have few fields. So student name, what else generally student will have? Email, ID, course he joined, right? So what I'll do is, he may join multiple courses, correct? He may join multiple courses. So list of, I'll say courses, list of courses. What is this course now? This course is again a new model component, one more component. So why I am doing this? Because course is different entity. Basically course is a different model. Course is having its own features again. Student has its own characteristics. Student has his own characteristics. In the similar way, course has its own characteristics. So that is the reason just I am planning to separate it. So now from here I can create. Eclipse helps us always. So create class called course, and which package? In the same package, because course is also a model component. I am planning to make it. Course is also a model component. So finish it. Course, right? And what are the fields I wanted to have here? So private string, course name, basically course name, private course ID, okay, course ID, yeah. So duration in a days, I am giving duration in days. Excuse me. So then course fee, don't forget this here, fee is also important, right? Okay, so okay, we'll stop here. Now what I am doing is right click. I'm doing right click. I'll go to source. Here you can see one option called generate getters and setters. How many of you know about the setters and getters? Right, everybody knows, right? So these are just create one setter method, one getter method per field, right? To set the value and to get the value. Setter is for setting the value, getter is for getting the value. If you look at one, so we can understand, it's simple. So this is getting the name, return name, returning name. So returning name means what? This name. Whatever you have value associated to this field, that value will be returned. And in the similar way, I wanted to set some name to this. So for that, I should have some setter method, setting name. So as I am giving some input, I wanted to set this particular name. So it will be parameter. You have to input what is the type, what is the variable, and that name will be assigned into that particular thing, right? So like that for all the fields you can see. Now course is done. Come back to your student. So it is giving error, right? Because we did not import it. We just need to import that java.util list. Now here also I am doing source generate getters and setters. So okay. So far what I have done is just very simple. I have created model classes. Now I wanted to manipulate the students. So let me create a new class in different package, not model package. So I'll say service. Package is service, and I'm doing student service. I'm doing IMPL. So I just wanted to have I wanted to have some interface as well. Interface is student service, but of course if I type here I may not get, because it is not created. So later on let me create that. So this is student service IMPL implements student service, right? You can see now there is no interface. Let me create it. So create interface student service in the same package, service package, in the same package which is service, right? So what I wanted to have here, I wanted to create a method. So method which is populate student data. I'm having one method populate student data. I have one more method get student data. Get all student data. And in the similar way I can get student data by giving the student number. So like this I can keep writing methods, multiple methods, and this is what student service. I can tell you this is an API student service. If I am writing like this, I can expose this interface to external parties where they can call these methods from their systems. So again they don't have to build their systems for student management system. So I am building an application in such a way that it supports multiple customers. I am not developing this project for my institute. I am doing this in a general way. So you think in that aspect so that you can understand the importance of interfaces also. Interfaces are not just a programmatic approach. Interfaces are more than that. So interfaces are there to specify our services to the third party vendors. Whoever wants to use they can make use of that. I will expose my interface methods to the external parties. How can I expose? By means of interfaces. By means of interfaces, nothing but services. Right. There are many softwares like example payment gateway service or many order fulfillment systems. Right. Nowadays there are APIs for e-commerce also. There are APIs for e-commerce also, and there are APIs. So nowadays, if you see any app or any software, so they are asking to register using either Facebook or Google Plus or LinkedIn profile or any one of your profile. So how they are handling then? So you have an account with Facebook, and if you provide Facebook username password, they are able to accept it, right? If you are giving proper username password, if you have account. If I give some ABCD, it won't accept. How? So internally backend they are handling, they are interacting with the Facebook APIs. Facebook provides some API open to all. So you can make use of those APIs in your application. You can start working. So how they are exposing their APIs, sort of, because we don't know what code they have implemented internally, but they just give some method. Boss, you call this method and you have to send these input parameters for me. Then I will do some processing and I will give you some authorization token to you. So if you got that token, then allow him to log in. There is some mechanism, right? That is what importance of interfaces is like. It's not just programming level. It's more than that. Interfaces. The main question in the interview is what? What is the difference between interfaces and abstract classes? Of course, abstract classes are programming level. Interfaces are also programming, but it's more than programming level. It really helps to expose our services to the third party vendors, right? Okay, fine. Now if you look at get all student data, it will be returning me list of students or not. So my return type would be what? List of student, correct? I just wanted to import util list, done. And here I am getting a particular student. So here it is not a list, it will be a student. Right. So let me populate these three methods first. Now go back to student service IMPL. Now of course it gives error because we have not implemented all the three methods. Now let me say add unimplemented methods. You just need to keep mouse on error. Eclipse helps you. So add unimplemented methods. All three methods. Now let me write the code here. So what I am planning to do here in the populate student data, just populate student data means I have to get the student information and populate it. So what is my plan is, so as of now I don't want to interact with any database. So instead of that, just I am manipulating with some hash map. So I am getting all the student data and I am putting inside hash map. I am keeping inside a hash map. So let me create a hash map. Hash map will be always key value based, right? So what I will do is I will just keep student ID comma ID comma name as a key. I will keep ID and the name as a combination as a key, and the value will be that particular student object. So my intention is what? So I'm creating hash map, which is a key value base, and my key would be ID comma name. I can separate this with comma, or better use colon. So this combination is my key, and what will be my value is, my value will be student object. So student object is having what? Student object is having all the fields, right? Again it will be having ID, name, courses, that's all. Whatever fields it has, all the fields, right? So this is what my idea. I am storing key as ID colon name for uniqueness. Of course ID also will be unique, but so what I am trying to create is one little complex structure which really helps to understand the debugging. If it is simple hello world program debug, it's over like 5 minutes. I mean, you may not understand it clearly. Like basic idea you will be having, but the real importance of debugging, if you can create some complexity like this, and you get some issues, run out with some issues, then you can see the importance of debugging. That's why I am trying to build such a complex story, right? Hash map of my key will be what? String. Why? Because it's a combination of ID comma name. So I have to concatenate ID and name together, then I have to keep. So then the possibility is what? String. So the recommendation is what? Let us have key as a string. And the value will be what? Student type. Generics. Hopefully you all guys knows. Okay. So student map. You can observe the naming conventions also. How I'm coding, right? Student map, new hash map of string comma student, right? I've just imported that. So now everything is set fine. Now I have to populate this hash map. So let me read some data. And populate my hash map. Right? So I'm planning to create a scanner object. Created a scanner object. So now input dot next time reading. So this is for what? Int number of students. How many students data you wanted to read it out? You decide. Somewhere I went to last line of the program, right? So I wanted to go back. So here there is one left arrow navigation which is with star, meaning it takes you to the last modification place, the place where you are doing modifications. If we click on this, yeah, it comes here. Okay, one navigation tip. What? Just now? Okay, fine. So number of students input text. just writing one SOP statement saying that enter number of students to populate or to render. Then after, so it is, I am reading this number, so input dot next int I am getting to read it out, number of students. Now my plan is I wanted to iterate those many times and read each student name, ID, all the details, and put all these in the hash map with the key value base how we have discussed. Right? Just a second, let me stop this. We'll make a separate video for continuing.